Well, the United States Postal Service has proved itself worthy once again. Those tires were ordered on the 7th of April. They were estimated to be delivered on the 12th. And as you can see from this note, that on the 13th, I got the bad news that the tires had descended into the postal black hole of Calcutta. So we're just going to have to put the wheel together, true it, and hope for the best on the tires. The place that I ordered the tires from are sympathetic to the situation, and they're working with a postmaster, whatever that means, to try and track the package down. And they've said that if they don't get a resolution within a reasonable amount of time, whatever that means, they'll move on to the next steps, which I assume is sending me another set of tires. Anyway, that's what's happening on this episode of Featherstone Bicycles. The crazy thing about that shipment is that they were ordered from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I live in north central Illinois, and seriously, I could drive to Milwaukee in 3 hours, but yet the U.S. Postal Service can't figure out how to get a package from there to here in tomorrow. It'll be 2 weeks that it was supposed to be here. 3 weeks almost total since I ordered it. Anyway, it is what it is. We're going to put the wheel together, and then we're going to clean the frame and see if we can do anything else to fill up the episode. So we'll start by putting the axle together. Yeah, I want to do that. was on time lapse, so even probably the most careful observers might not have noticed that I screwed up there. I was measuring each of the spacings on the axle the same, and I forgot to consult my notes over here to mention where I noted how far the axle was sticking out from this spacer nut versus this lock washer. So I had to make some adjustments there. Anyway, we'll save this, and then we can start on the putting the spokes in, which, if you are a long-time viewer or you're adept at doing this, you will know that we start with any hole in the hub, and we line it up with the valve stem hole down here. So we're going to pick this hole as that lined up hole, and then we count 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. And consulting our drawing, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's an under, so it goes in from the top, comes in, and it goes to the second hole to the right of the valve stem hole. Put a spoke nipple on that. Then we go back to our original hole, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's this one, and then 1, 2, 3, up from there, and that's an over. So it comes in from the bottom, and that goes one hole to the left of the valve stem hole. And again, this is for a 3-cross 27-inch wheel. I don't know if the inches of the diameter make it any different. Then the tricky bit is you have to line up the other side of the hub, and the holes are not in the same spot. They're actually halfway in between. And you want to find the hole that is down from this hole. And that appears to be this one right here. And that one is an over. So it comes in from the bottom, and it goes to the hole just one to the right of the valve stem hole. And then the last one we need to do is going to be up from this one. So that appears to be this one, and it's going to be an under. So it's coming in from the top. And it goes to the left, or 2 to the left of the valve stem hole. And the reason, again, the reason that we do this, we start out this way, is that you'll see, or you have noticed, that some of the spokes are coming straight down, some of the spokes are at an angle when they reach down here, and you want the 2 spokes coming down on either side of the valve stem hole to be straight so that you can get the air nozzle on there. And the only other thing you need to know is that each, they alternate, so they go, this is under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. So the next one is that's going to be under is here, and it goes 4 holes to the left of the previous one. And once you got those 5 things figured out, it's just like Tinker Toys putting it back together. goes in, and now what we need to do is tighten up all the spoke nipples so that they're even all the way around, which we'll do by tightening the nipples until just the spoke thread starts to disappear. We'll start with the valve stem holes so we can keep track of where we are. Trued up, we can finish with the spoke guard and then put the freewheel on, and then the final hardware. So we're going to move on now to the frame. What I've got here is some hot water. I've got the Walmart equivalent of Dawn dishwashing liquid, and then I've also got Walmart Great Value multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser. And I've got a soft brush here that is for cars, washing cars, and we'll just start scrubbing it down. I use the degreaser and a toothbrush to get into the small crevices where there's a lot of grease. time for a few more things. I'm going to work on the shining up the non-greasy parts of the bike. And I have to say, working on that, washing that frame and the other fenders and whatnot, for as greasy as that chain is, the frame and the fenders are surprisingly not greasy. So that's a good thing. There's the seat post. Sometimes the wire wheel gets the rust off, but it also dulls the chrome. And so I like to just put a little simple green, any kind of liquid will do, just to get some of the shiny again. A few rust spots here on the gooseneck. Sorry, I was probably shaking you there. That's looking good. And I didn't bother putting the handlebars on the wire wheel because it's just some surface rust. Maybe there's a little bit of pitting, but it's kind of overkill to do that on the wire wheel. So I'll just hit this up with the steel wool. Try not to shake you to death, but it can do a toll. It can make a toll on your wrist. And you may be due for some carpal tunnel surgery. especially when you've seen me do the wheel rims. I used to do those by hand before I figured out that the wire wheel, either on the bench or on the drill bit for the drill, was a much better way to go. And these handlebars are looking almost like the day it came out of the showroom. You remember the end of last episode, or if you're a frequent viewer, I've mentioned it numerous times that I've always end up having phone storage problems, and that's what happened at the end of the last episode. For those of you that have iPhones and are running into the same problem, I did figure out what you need to do. The Mail app for your email takes up a lot of room, and you can't just erase or delete your emails and then delete your trash and your junk and all that. For some reason, iPhone keeps a cache of data from those emails on your phone. So it doesn't matter how much you erase old emails, you're still end up taking up a lot of space. What you have to do is delete the Mail app completely off your phone. Doesn't matter, I'm using Gmail, so Google still has all the data on their servers, and then reinstall it and sign up with your Google account or Hotmail or whatever email server you're using, and you'll be surprised. I cut the amount of data that my Mail app was taking up on my phone by a significant amount. So anyway, little helpful hint that's non-bicycle related. Thanks for sticking with me today, and I hope to see you next time on Featherstone Bicycles.